Here reporting live is News on Fleek, where your news is always on point.
Good morning, Katie. How do you feel about what's going on?
Honestly angry. A serious issue that's been brought up in the media these last few years is the Vietnam War, so let's dig into that.
The war is a very controversial topic, and many believe that what we're doing is for the greater good. But speaking for myself and others that are part of the anti-war movement, we don't think so. What do you think about it?
I'm with you on that. In fact, the other day the group known as the Hippies, actually, have you heard of them?
Yes, I have. Why?
Okay, well, in case our audience doesn't know, they elected a pig as president. They were at the Democratic Convention and literally elected a pig as president, as to say they'd rather have a pig as president than those fools who want to keep us at war.
See, I love things like that. People are fed up with it and rebel, and I love it.
Me too, but speaking of this, I want our audience to be aware of two important names, hawks and doves. Doves strongly oppose the war and want immediate withdrawal.
And hawks are the opposite?
Yes, the hawks strongly believe in it and wanted the U.S. to unleash stronger powers like nuclear weapons. In my opinion, though, the doves have a lot more agreeable points to their argument.
Why don't you give us some examples?
Well, firstly, the U.S. is fighting a war that we have no right in, and the doves call this out. Secondly, the U.S. needs to realize that we can't police the globe and control everything all the time.
That's true. The only thing I don't like is when those same people who want peace call the men in the military terrible things. I don't agree with us being there, but I respect the men that are.
Agreed. But taking a look at when the protesters really started to shine, I noticed there are a lot of college students taking part. Have you noticed?
Yes, it's because of their age group. They're worried about the draft since they're of that age.
Yes, and this is the same group that organized a march in Washington, D.C., with about 20,000 protesters in April of 1965. They were a part of the SDS, and a few months after that, another rally took place in Washington that drew 30,000 protesters.
And to add on to that, this spring nearly 500,000 protesters rallied in New York Central Park and chanted things like "burn cards, not people."
That almost seems like nothing compared to what happened at the Pentagon.
Why? What happened?
Well, in October, at Washington's Lincoln Memorial, protesters gathered, but this time with more retaliation from the military. About 30,000 protesters locked arms for a march on the Pentagon. As some mounted the steps, they were gassed and clubbed by military police. Over 1,500 injured and 700 incarcerated. The photos being shown are examples of the protesting going on.
Okay, and these pictures show the determination and strong will of the protesters.
Yes, it does. Why don't you tell us about the current struggle we're facing in Vietnam and why people should pay more attention to the protesters?
Well, honestly, it's devastating. Recently, it's been discovered that there was a surprise attack on over 100 cities and towns in South Vietnam. The map that my colleague is showing you where some of these battles have taken place.
Yeah, and to think that the whole time our men thought they had a break, that the Vietnam soldiers were simply mourning their dead and celebrating the new year. But it was the Viet Cong backlash. We were betrayed by them and our own president, who has been lying about our soon-to-be victory in Vietnam.
All of the actions throughout these last couple of years have shown the determination of protesters for peace. Now, will all of these actions be in vain? Only time will tell.
That's all for tonight. Stay tuned for the latest information and, as always, reporting live from News on Fleek.